Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to the program Beyond 100 Days with me, Ade-John. Join the conversation on X at TVC News NG. Use the hashtag Beyond 100 Days. After months of speculations, President Bola Tinubu has reshuffled his cabinet. The president sacked 5 ministers. The Minister of Women Affairs, Kennedy-Ohanenye, Minister of Tourism, Lola Ade-John, Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Gwarzo, and Minister of Youth Development, Jamila, Ibrahim. 10 ministers were reassigned and 7 new nominees. President Bola Tinubu scrapped the Niger Delta Ministry and the Ministry of Sports Development. The Ministry of Tourism merged with Ministry of Arts and Culture. Shehu Dikko is chairman of the National Sports Commission, and Sunday Dare is SA to the President on Public Communication and Orientation. Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, gives more clarity.
What is happening now is that the Federal Executive Council has taken a decision to take that Ministry of Tourism out and the functions of that ministry be transferred to a new ministry called the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy.
A number of regional development commissions like Northwest Development Commission, Northeast, Southeast, and some other that are coming up are already in place. And there must be a ministry that will supervise all these agencies. And in order to do that, today, Mr. President and the FEC decided that all these commissions that have been created and signed by the National Assembly will be brought under the supervision of the SY Ministry of Niger Delta, which is now redesignated as the Ministry of Regional Development.
Let's now tell you some ministers reassigned and their portfolios. Yusuf Sonono, who is the current Minister of State for Education, is now Minister of State, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. Tunji Alausa, who is current Minister of State for Health, is now Minister of Education. Bello Goronyo, who is current Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, is now Minister of State for Works. Abubakar Momo, current Minister of Niger Delta Development, now Minister of Regional Development. Uba Ahmadu, who is Minister of State for Steel Development, has now been reassigned as Minister of State for Regional Development. While Doris Uzoka-Anite, who is currently the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, is now Minister of State for Finance. John Eno, Minister of Sports Development, is now Minister of State for Trade and Investment. While Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim, who is current Minister of State for Police Affairs, is now the Minister of Women Affairs. Ayodele Olawande, who is Minister of State for Youth Development, is now the Minister of Youth Development. Salako Isiak, who is Minister of State for the Environment, is now Minister of State for Health. And the ministerial nominees are Nentawe Yilwatda for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Mohammed Dingyadi for Labor, Employment. Bianca Odumego Juko has now been nominated as Foreign Affairs, Minister of Foreign Affairs State, and Jumoke Oduwole as Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. Idi Meha is Minister of Livestock Development. Yusuf Attar has been nominated as Minister of Housing and Urban Development State. Suwaiba Ahmed is Minister of State for Education. And, well, that actually is the list at this time. State House correspondent Femi Akonde joins me now from our Abuja studios for more on this. Femi, thank you for joining us at this time. What exactly is the general atmosphere like at the villa following this announcement?
Well, you know, this cabinet reshuffle was highly anticipated, but not everyone knew when it will happen, when President Bola Tinubu will make that announcement. Even when he traveled on his 2-week work leave, everyone had expected that probably from there, these this reshuffle or this rejig of his cabinet will be announced. But eventually he did that on his at his first Federal Executive Council meeting after his 2-week working leave to the United Kingdom. And you know what? At the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting, it wasn't clear if the ministers that were sacked or those reassigned had or knew about, this development, or knew if they had been reassigned, or those, especially those that have been sacked. We all saw them at the end of that FEC meeting. They went their separate ways, just as business as usual. Their countenance did not display probably what happened in the meeting, or if they were informed about the sack. But President Bola Tinubu had said that at the beginning, when he appointed his ministers, he had said that, if they do not perform, he will fire them. He said he has the power to hire and fire. And all of these it's also based on recommendations made by the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman. She submitted a report to President Bola Tinubu making recommendations following her appraisal of the performance of the ministers. You also recall that, she launched a Citizens Tracker app that would enable citizens have an input into appraising the performance of these ministers. But what level of input or impact the input of citizens had in this whole cabinet reshuffle remains to be seen. We do not know the level of impact it had. But, Hadiza Bala Usman was also quite instrumental to this whole cabinet reshuffle, to this decision taken by President Bola Tinubu to reshuffle his cabinet. And it is expected that this would also inject a fresh impetus into the administration. Like President Bola Tinubu said in that statement, it would also reposition his administration.
All right, Femi, thank you very much for that update.